Mike Pachelli here. Thanks for tuning in. For this lesson, I'll be talking about the Beatles recording of Tell Me What You See that they did in February of 1965. The song was probably written right before the session that was on February 1865 because it's well documented that the Beatles had to learn the song in the studio. John Lennon says it was written entirely by Paul, but Paul says, "I seem to remember it as mine. I would claim it as a 60-40, but it might have been totally me. Not awfully memorable. Not one of the better songs, but they did a job. They were very handy for albums or B-sides. You need those kind of sides." February 18th, 1965, the Beatles are at EMI Studio 2, and they do the rhythm track, which consists of Paul McCartney on bass, John on Fender Stratocaster, Ringo on drums, and George on güiro. They determined that take 4 was the best, and then they do the overdubs. And the overdubs are John and Paul doing the lead vocals, Ringo or John playing tambourine, and George or Ringo playing claves, depending on where you get your information. Then Paul overdubbed the piano, which was on a Hohner pianette, and John, Paul, and George overdubbed the background vocals. The song was mixed 2 days later on February 20th. Fun facts to know and tell. Richard Lester, who was the film director for the Help movie, was in charge of picking the music for the soundtrack, but he rejected Tell Me What You See because he said it just wasn't good enough. Ooh, I'd like to have been a fly on the wall when that decision was made. The Beatles never played the song live, but it was released in the U.S. on the Capitol album Beatles 6 on June 14, 1965, and in the U.K. on the Help album on August 6, 1965 on Parlophone. So that's the backstory. Let's get started. John Lennon is the only guitarist you hear on Tell Me What You See. He's playing his Fender Stratocaster. I've got mine going through this 1967 Princeton Reverb, but I'm using the speaker cabinet of my Vox AC30 to get the Blue Alnico sound. In order to play the song, you just need a couple of chords, really 4 chords. You'll need a G. 2 beats, he plays a regular C. Otherwise, he puts this G on the E string on top for all his Cs. And you'll need a D. Now, there's tons of syncopation in this song, so it's really good for beginner or intermediate players to really get this right and understand the syncopation. What that means is usually, you play the chord on the end of 4 before you get to the next measure. So if it's a C, you're going to play on 2, 3, 4, C, and then on 1. Difficult when I explain it like that. When it first starts, he plays the G chord, and he strums it up, but he only plays to the B note on the A string, and he almost sounds like he's playing that B note on a downstroke. So like, You can get it on an upstroke if you can get it strong enough. But that's what he's doing till the verse. So it's 3, slowly 3, 4. Here comes a normal C. Then the D. Now, in the second part of the verse, the last 8 measures, it's just C to G, C to G, C to G. But every chord, you play it on the upbeat before the downbeat of the measure that it occurs on. So on the C, you play 3, 4. So I'm playing it on the and of 4, 3, 4. Same thing with the G, I'm playing it on the and of 4 to get to the G. Okay, so very slowly, that second 8 bars of the song would go 3, 4. Then we were into verse 2. So let me play you the intro and verse 1 in time so you get a better feel of it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're into verse 2. Thank you, Mr. Matrix here. Mr. Matrix. On verse 2, it's very, very similar. I'll play it for you slow. Here's verse 2. Well, that was very close. Charts and tabs, if you want to know it exact, you'll see it better than I can play it or say it. But right there is where the piano thing comes in, piano lick of Paul's. And if you want to do that on guitar, you can easily do it, because basically Paul's piano part is based on a G7 scale, which would be playing it kind of in thirds. So it would be like, let's see. That's not exactly what he played, but that's close enough. Right? And then you're back to the strumming. Verse 3 and 4 are almost identical. Let me just do you verse 3 nice and slow. So it goes like this. 3, 4. Of note is after that verse, when he usually plays on the third and fourth measure of Paul's piano thing, he doesn't play till the fourth measure that time. Then he just plays. I'm sorry, he just plays. Starts verse 4. Again, charts and tabs will make it so much clearer than I can say it or play it. But that's basically John's part on Tell Me What You See. I've put it together in a sound alike so you can see exactly how it goes. So have a look at this.
If you let me take your heart, I will prove to you we will never be apart if I'm part of you. Open up your eyes now, tell me what you see. It is no surprise now, what you see is me. Big and black the clouds may be, time will pass away.
So now you've seen how well that syncopated part of John Lennon propels the song along. I suggest you download the charts and tabs at MikePachelli.com, learn his part, play along with my sound alike, and you'll get it just like the Beatles. And I really appreciate your consideration in supporting my work that way. So have fun playing this great old song, because that's what playing the guitar should be all about. I'm Mike Pachelli. Thanks for hanging out with me.